Test, 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 test.
Yeah, boy.
Doing pretty well. What about yourself? I'm definitely excited about this administration. One thing I'm really excited about is that our border laws and our immigration laws are going to be enforced. One thing I'm not as excited about, I would say one critical thing I could say about the Trump administration is I don't know if I like how, the email thing where Elon Musk is sending out an email telling people to write down five things. I'm not quite too sure what I think about that. I want to know what he's doing with it.
Man, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? Man, crazy part is I'm definitely not a Trump supporter, but I'm very excited about where the country is going because I think it's the F around to find out time. So I hate to say it, but a lot of these people and red states. I mean, I literally was just watching where it was a lot of funding, especially even research funding for schools, not just HBCU schools, but other schools. They're not getting that funding either. So F around to find out time. So I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm still worried.
Hold on, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming on the bottom of the screen. Usually the mic does. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you? Yeah, it's driving me nuts. I was looking for it. I didn't have my glasses on. Sorry about that. Um, I'm extremely worried. I just read portions. I saw you were on because I was reading about the new tax plan part. That's not good for middle and lower class, but that's a hearsay. Well, yeah. Well, they added that new tax part, so that's why. But and then I was watching that old this earlier today about that too, in the chambers where they were in there. Yeah, it's a lot to worry about for the middle and lower class, actually, especially the lower class. It's still we the people. It doesn't matter. So, got to look out for each other. Exactly. Okay.
Hello, I am fine. How are you? I have zero excitement, none whatsoever. I am very concerned that Trump is basically selling any and everything that evolves around the United States to pad his pockets. As a veteran and a retired civilian employee, um, I do not like um, Elon's position in there and having access to all of our personal information. It's just not a good time. And I'm predicting, unfortunately, it's gonna have to get way, way worse before it gets better.
I'm doing all right. No worries. I am not at all excited. And most recently, I would say that my biggest concern is I just recently watched the documentary Active Measures on YouTube. And then I also watched this other documentary, 2073. And I learned way too much about Putin's role in everything and how Trump has been an asset since the early 2000s when he was at his most well, at his most financially vulnerable, he was, in fact, involved in all of this mess. And I have no reason to believe at this point that he isn't solely acting in favor of whatever Putin wants right now. And I'm scared that our military is not going to do what they need to do.
I'm doing great. I am excited, and I'm most looking forward to the border being shut down, no more illegals entering our country. They're not immigrants, they're
Three
non-citizens.
illegal aliens, by definition.
They're not immigrants, they're lawbreakers. Yep. Yeah, he's doing what Kamala failed to do. He's enforcing the border.
Yes, sir. Hey, if I may say, you're doing a really good job at this, man. God bless your heart. I would kind of push back on the Trump thing with. I could say the same thing when they say Trump with Russia, and then you think it's like, okay. My answer is yes. I'm excited about Trump being able to say, you all investigated me with the greatest resources possible, and I'm not a Russian asset. And at the same time, we just lived through 4 years of Biden dog humping Ukraine's, all this stuff, man. And that's where the folks that, if we're Americans on either side, whatever, you have to acknowledge that Joe Biden in Ukraine is a dirty, dirty, nasty, like dirty underwear. Like throw the underwear in the corner in a dark room, and like the darkest corner, throw the underwear over there because that's how bad it is. I'm an amateur comedian. I'm sorry.
Just call me Nate. I'm good. How you doing, bro? So I'm very excited, and the thing I'm most excited about is simply putting America first. I believe he's done that on day one, and I'm excited to see the future.
Indeed.
I'd like to start with standing against our allies. All right. Yeah, I think for a long time we've been providing defense to obviously Europe, and they have not been paying their full 3% uh, agreed upon amount of their GDP on defense as well. And we've been just sending tons of money. Yes. Yeah, and we've been sending a lot of weapons that are paid for by the taxpayer to Ukraine, one of the most corrupt countries in Eastern Europe. And I think what Trump's doing. Well, I think that what about what Ukraine being one of the most. Well, before the war, it was a pretty known fact that Ukraine was one of the most or is one of the most corrupt countries in Eastern Europe. It's a lot of our weapons, even now, are being sold. A lot of our aid, we don't know where it is. It's a bit unacceptable. Well, how much aid have we sent on our books, and how much did Zelensky say Ukraine has received? Well, according to Trump, we have spent around $350 billion on weapons to Ukraine, and then according to Zelensky, around half of it was missing. Yeah, so Zelensky told the Associated Press that Ukraine had received around 75 billion from the U.S. and that the other around 100 billion from the U.S. was not received yet. And then the aid from Europe is different. It's a different. That's where I'd like to be in.
The moral of the story is fuck Ukraine. I'm tired. When I go to a
Yeah. So the easy way to cross reference is take the inspector general's internal and external audit, match it with the budget. So I've actually looked at both, and both of them check out. Number one, number two, about Zelensky. What a lot of people don't realize is that they don't know how Ukrainian legislature works. Right? He's been labeled as a dictator. He's been labeled as a bad guy. But due to the laws of Ukraine, over the past 2 years, they haven't been able to have elections because they've been in a war. Actually, same thing happened with Yanukovych in 2014. That's the laws of the land over in Ukraine. So he's not being a dictator. They can't have an election because they're getting invaded right now. Number one, number two, right? Trump's plan to resolve this puts would be the anti-American position because it doesn't put us in a good posture. It would cede land. G7informationsummit.com. Sorry, .org, by the way. So it would cede land that would have Russia be kissing the border of Poland, and then when they invade Poland, we have to respond. NATO countries respond, and then we have a war that's 10 times bigger than the one right now. Russia is suffering significant casualties, over 750,000 people. They had to send North Korea in that got decimated, and we're honoring the Ukraine. I mean, we're honoring the Budapest Memorandum on top of that. But if you just pull out a map, we're keeping them far away, right? As in Ukraine, far away from us in Poland, while still honoring a deal that we made that involved nuclear weapons. If we break this and we ever want to have a nuclear pact again, any of these countries are going to be like, why should we trust you? Because you did not hold up your end of the deal. So that's a three-tiered argument there. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, the deal was Ukraine today agreed to the mineral deal where the U.S. gets half of the profits from the minerals. I just that's what I heard. I don't know. I haven't. And also, number two, the Budapest Memorandum was not a legally binding agreement. It was not voted on by Congress, as treaties have to be, and it was only a pledge by the Carter administration. And I forgot your first point before the mineral. Forgot the first point you had made.
yeah. So before I respond to, oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yep.
well, if we were to include in our constitution, or when let's say Putin changes his constitution to allow that, like for to change the requirements for elections or how the terms and all that, does that suddenly not make the leader of that country a dictator as long as it complies with their constitution?
No, that's not the claim being made, right? The claim is the one that Trump's making, right? It's like, why is he still in power? I'm using the law. Yanukovych was under the same law, right? So Yanukovych, there was a period of time when they couldn't have because of the war in 2014, right? So with that being said, he's making the claim, not me, right? That he's been in power for so long that he's a dictator. Well, the reason why is because they're under technically martial law, according to the Ukrainian law, can't hold elections. So logic follows: if you're being labeled as a dictator because you can't hold elections, but the law of your land is preventing you from doing so, then you're in a war. Well, I mean, that argument, now he could have said something different, right? Than just the fact they haven't held elections, then maybe it would have held a little bit more weight.
So if Zelensky were to try to keep his country in a state of war to keep martial law, would that not make him a dictator?
Can
Would
you give me
that?
evidence of that?
He's rejected a
Yeah, that
lot
is a
of
huge claim.
deals.
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an
Yeah,
evidence.
he's rejected a lot of peace deals. There has not been a lot of talks with Russia and Ukraine. They have not come to the table with a deal, and it doesn't seem like Zelensky's making an effort to end the war.
Okay, well, that's a
And
subjective
they
claim,
broke two
though.
peace treaties.
Yeah, so both of these are subjective claims. Like, I'm asking you, like, evidence that he's trying to prolong the war. For example, we see this similar part with Israel and Palestine right now. So, like, I'm gonna need, like, not just because I can assume the same thing, but I don't have any evidence for that. So, but we're addressing Trump's claim directly because I don't have to go outside of Trump's claim. He said that he was a dictator because he's in power for so long. Well, there's a reason for that. Same thing that happened with Yanukovych, right? So anything else is just a subjective opinion.
No, I want to select a new subject. We'll never get to the end of that conversation. I want to talk about the mass government layoffs. So I hear a lot of like fussing and hollering and on all the different news outlets, all the different medias, all the different sources. And I mean, this is what the American people voted on. We want to see transparency, and we want to see transparency not only from state government, but from the federal government regulating their own people, and that's what we're seeing. And it's not just a Democrat or Republican issue; it's a transparency issue, and and it's an accountable issue too. Like, hey, is this person even coming to work? Is this person even real? Is this what's going on here? Follow the money, follow the money. I don't see how in any kind of way that's a negative thing. Like, we're just trying to get to the bottom of things and look at things and then also report back to the American people with transparency. Now, my lifetime, I'm not that old, I'm only 37, but I haven't seen that ever in any administration. And so it's something new, it's something exciting to look forward to. And I feel like the American people feel the same way.
I think that unfortunately a lot of Trump voters ended up doing so out of some sort of necessity instead of really looking at the facts of the situation. They went with what they were told, and it was just a little too easy because inevitably our media was very driven towards, only showing what they wanted us to see at the time. They were trying to actively limit us on TikTok for that reason. They didn't want people to know the truth. And on top of that, I think we've all noticed at this point that there's a lot of bots that exist all around this space, a lot of other social media spaces. They like to beef up the popularity of certain people to create groupthink, to make people all kind of think the same way. And I think that people who voted for Trump either fell for the trap of necessity or the trap of misinformation.
Yeah, I agree with that. But so I want to rebuttal. All right. So before I became, fascinated, we'll say, with politics in the past, I don't know, maybe a year, right? Like, go into a little detail, like young and dumb, running the mug, before I had kids, like never even knew who the president was, didn't care, didn't know what a Democrat was or a Republican, right? So I come onto the scene and I'm kind of just, I see what happened at the rally with Trump or whatever, start kind of following both sides. I'm watching Kamala's rallies, I'm watching Donald Trump's rallies. Now, keep in mind, I've never ever paid attention to politics, but just coming in 4 years sober now, I'm coming up on 4 years, and just clearly looking at both sides, this side and this side, like which person is telling the truth, going back and forth, right? And it's just like it goes back to the accountability thing and the transparency thing. Like I don't see that's the one thing that doesn't lie is math, accountability, and transparency. And it's just when you look at it like way from the outside in, not being biased in any way. Again, I had no idea what a Republican or Democrat is and can care less. I'm just looking from the outside in and I'm trying to see, okay, like what's the better option for our country? You know what I mean? And I felt like it was the right choice. Like transparency and accountability can never go wrong. And it's not going to look pretty, like I want to understand why, Chuck Schumacher is like $230 million. I can go on and on. Nancy Pelosi. You don't think You guys aren't on TikTok? That thing's blown up. Like it's went viral of them like there's video after video of the transparency. Like why do these people have quadruple their amount of net worth when they're only making, and you can't lie on that. Like there's just no way around that. Yeah, and like Caroline Levitt, or anybody like on the far right side or whatever, I would think the same thing of them too. It's like I want to know, how do you make that kind of money? Like what shady shit are you doing? Donald Trump's reaction after a life and unalive situation. You know what I mean? Like there's no like acting that out on the world stage. You know what I mean? And it just showed courage and strength. And it's like after that moment, it's like that's the person that like I would want to trust on the world stage talking with Russia or whoever. Like you already know how the world is. Right, right. Like that's to me, that's like it speaks volumes. It speaks for itself. It'll go down in history. It'll be in the books.
Oh gosh. You know what? I would really love to, but I really want to give the rest of the panel a chance to.
Okay, so was the transparency only for a select group of people to have access to? Because I have yet to see any transparency. Um, it took 3.5 years on his first presidency for us to get his tax return to only find out that he only paid $700. And all that, no, I want to show them $750. And I understand, who is this below me? N8 Nate? Oh, he sounds like a sycophant. I mean, he's swooning. It's almost like I can picture him blushing as he's talking about Trump. And I'm going to just say it's garbage. And just FYI, it's straight up garbage. Just FYI about me. One, like I said previously, I'm a Marine, and you're welcome. And I also retired from the Department of the Army as a civilian employee. Um, and I'm a feminist as well. So um, I'm always going to speak from that standpoint. Um, Man, Trump.
You gonna let me rebuttal? All right, I appreciate that. So, out of everything I just said, there was no name dropping, no name calling, no belittling, no talking down. Now, for the last thing to come out of your mouth and call me garbage, it's the same thing, the same mistake Biden made at the very.
I did not.
No, 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 no. I heard clearly. That sounds like the same shit of the White House press secretary protecting Biden.
It's
Look, I
trash
heard
Twitter.
clearly what she said. This is what she said. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna repeat it. She said, every time you speak, you're probably blushing anytime you talk about Donald Trump, and you are garbage.
No, you're swooning. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, well, we need to rewind that because I heard her say it, and I didn't say anything that was even in that category of garbage. Well, people can't seem to have an intelligent conversation.
Please don't bring intelligence up as a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I want the replay. Come on. Got him, coach. Got him, coach. She
He
said
said
it is garbage.
it's
It's the
garbage.
same thing. Okay. My words are garbage. Well, if my words are garbage, why are we even talking? Right. I'm trying to express mine freely. Well, what were we? What category did I pick? I picked mass government layoffs, transparency. And nowhere in her speech did she respond with any kind of like, there was no rebuttal there. It was just Trump, 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 Trump. Like, I don't understand. That's not working anymore. Like, it's not just about Trump. It's about the American people. It's about what we voted for.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. So Black Star Millionaire, would you like to actually address anything else? Because he's saying that, you're focusing on Trump, and I mean, you can also speak to his administration. You can talk to anything else that's happened. There's an echo. Oh, okay. Ooh, hold on one second, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Is this any better or no? Is this any better or no? Can anyone? Yep. Okay. Black Star Millionaire, the floor is yours. Black Star Millionaire, are you speaking?
Yes.
And now, Ken, I thought it was me at first. I was like, wait a minute, why is it so quiet? All right, I can hear
um um I'm gonna make sure I already talk slow. Um but I want to be clear. Um so just listen a little faster. Uh you made a statement before Santana cut you off about intelligence. Sweetheart, you would not want to go there with me in regards to intelligence, level of education, IQ, etc. So I just want to get that out of the way. Now, let me we're talk you said we're talking about Trump. Is he not the president? So, if he's the president, what else are we to talk about? Trump has done absolutely nothing since taking a non-oath because he did not swear on the Bible. He's not done anything for the United States citizens. All executive orders. Trump has spent majority of his time golfing and signing executive orders that are pretty much going to be tied up in court. No legislation. And what I would like to know, and anybody can chime in, what exactly has he done thus far that is beneficial to the whole United States? Not just MAGA, not just Caucasian, not just Italian, etc. What name one thing that he has done or accomplished through executive order that helps all of us?
I would love to. He was the first. So if you take these golf courses that are all uppity up and everything, nobody ever done it. Guess who the first person was? Says, "Come in, Jews. Come in, my beautiful darker brown and brown people too. Come on, here we go." Well, that was just a start. I was just getting started. That was throwing a hat trick just in practice. I was about to
Santana,
really get going.
with all due respect, Santana, we were talking about mass government layoffs, and she literally did not say one thing about any of that. She went off on a
I was gonna
tangent
get to that too.
with Trump derangement. It's like, come on, why don't you? What if you're gonna facilitate?
If I may say, you do an awesome job at this, man, keeping things in motion. What what I said last time was important, but there's more things important than that. It's having a way to see through just not having everything. So he sat back and he watches things, and not just anybody can do this. I mean, like, you can't just take a Bloomberg or somebody with money with a weak backbone or somebody with a strong backbone with no money and try to shake shit up for what they've been doing wrong for so long. I just feel like, man, I backed him up because if he had a D beside his name, Democrats would act like he was the best thing since sliced bread. And if you put an R beside his name, people hate him for it. But if you either way, they was going to do it. The other side's going to do it. I mean, it's just the way it goes. Listen, I'm not perfect. Donald Trump ain't perfect. We all know that. But hey, if I may say, he loves our country, and we love our country, and we can kind of get with Dave Chappelle and start smiling and laughing about shit instead of being so miserable and like acting like everything's got to be such a argumentative state of mind. That's it. That's all I gotta say. I love y'all.
Okay, so first I want to comment on what my man Humble was saying. Definitely, I think everybody should be kind of, laughing and talking to each other, versus arguing. So I'm gonna say good point on that. But I do have to disagree with you on some other points. Now, as far as I want to go with the mass layoffs in general. Um, Granted, there are some times where layoffs have to happen. In this situation, I don't think it's one of them. For instance, the nuclear power workers that were laid off. Then there was another branch, maybe a week later, where almost majority of their top workers were actually laid off, and they had to kind of like recall those people back. So it's kind of like at that point, what are you guys doing? And then aside from that, right there, a lot of the IRS workers got laid off. Now, what a lot of people don't realize about the IRS workers, and me used to be a seasonal IRS worker myself. In particular, I know how things kind of work around there. So some of my friends who still work there, they actually got laid off, and they were not seasonal workers. They were actually employees that worked there and that went to work daily, not just, here and there, or whether we come to work. No, IRS is one of those jobs where honestly, if you ain't showing up for work, you ain't got no job. That's how IRS operates. And I can tell you that for a fact. Like, if you don't show up, they are quick to fire you. Before Donald Trump came in saying fire anybody about anything. Now, aside from that right there, there's also a probational period that if, say for instance, I just got promoted, then I'm in that probational period for anywhere up to 3 months to a year, depending on the job and the position or whatnot. Some of those people got fired who have been there for 25, 30 years or whatnot. And it wasn't that they wasn't showing up to work or anything like that. It was just they decided, hey, you know what? We need to make these cuts. Now, in general, like I said, if we need some layoffs or whatnot, granted, let's make it happen. But let's make it happen for the right reasons, not just because you're trying to find some spending. As far as the transparency goes, in general, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna speak on the people that are quote unquote getting paid extra. Now, there have been a lot of people that was on X that were being quote unquote exposed for getting paid extra. Now, me personally, I went to these people and I went to Forbes itself to try to find out what these people are actually making, if they were even on the Forbes list, because of course, if you're making a certain amount of money, you definitely will be on Forbes list or whatnot. Some of these people were not on the Forbes list. Now, I'm just not saying any names, but you guys can look on X, see that list yourself. Exactly. So, but I'm saying I went on X because they were saying these people are A, B, and C. So that's why I went to X to try to, yeah. No, no, no. Oh, no, no, definitely not. So I went to X to see who the names were that they were saying.
Yeah, you guys go
And
to
then I went to Forbes so I can see what their actual network was, if they was even on the Forbes list. And some of them wasn't even on the Forbes list. I'm gonna put her out there. Jasmine Crockett is not on the Forbes list. So I'm not sure how she's making like $9 million, according to what X is saying, but that's neither here or there. My last point, and I'm gonna kind of like land my plane right here. As for transparency, they say we're gonna give you transparency, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna make sure everybody knows what's going on. It's gonna be great. Everybody's gonna know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on because you guys are telling us what you want us to hear, but there's no receipts being shown. Aside from that, right there, the Speaker of the House came out and stated Doge has somebody overdose, but we just can't tell you who it is. So
Yeah, that
first y'all can
absolutely
tell
did
us.
come out. They're not willing to actually say who's overdosed.
So I'm trying to figure out where the transparency is, and I'm gonna land right there because I know other people would like to retort.
All right, perfect. So let's do this. I'm sorry, guys. Couple of things. One, YouTube, Twitch, the sound should be fixed now. I apologize, YouTube and Twitch. The sound should be fixed now. You should be able to hear me. If you're watching on YouTube and you're watching on Twitch and you have not been able to hear me, can you drop something in the YouTube comment or in the Twitch comment and let me know that you hear me now? I apologize about that, but we do have the sound and we should be good. Also, guys, I just want to say W's in the chat for Haley. Haley sent a dollar donation saying, "Why is Nate ignoring Trump's meme coins that he rug pull, which is him literally stealing money from his supporters?" Yeah, that was the whole thing. W's in the chat for Haley. W's in the chat for Vicky, who sent a 25. Hold on a second. W's in the chat for Vicky, who sent a $25 donation to help reach my goal. Thank you so much for that $25 donation, Vicky. Guys, that means now we are only $135 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoyed the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted, anything is appreciated, and a special shout out to all of you. I know I talked about it last night, but I wanted to make sure that I speak on it again really quickly. Last week, we had Mutual Aid Week. We will be doing Mutual Aid Week every third week of the month, where we pick someone in or outside of our community that really needs help, and we do things to support them. This past week, we were able to raise $3,000 in 1 week for Mutual Aid Week to help a community member who was trying to escape a horrible, horrible situation in Florida. That has gone a long way to actually helping them get out of the state of Florida and get them to safety. So thank you all for what you do. You all are absolutely, absolutely amazing. W's in the chat for all of you. With that being said, I want to come back to Hitman, and I'm sorry, I want to come back to Humble. Humble, I want to give you the opportunity to actually kind of to retort to what he's saying, and also just as Nate, just an FYI, the reason why he was saying that X is not a source is because it's not. It's absolutely not a credible source. You want to vet your sources that you use, and he was calling out X as a point of reference. But anyway, Humble.
Actually, it is a source, and even if you go to like Wikipedia, the political
Wikipedia isn't a source either, my friend.
They're biased.
Wikipedia isn't a source either. Wikipedia can actually be edited. You have non-biased sources that you can actually verify how their biases. And X, anyone can post on X. It's just like YouTube saying, "Oh, I found this YouTube video." Like anyone can post on YouTube, anyone can post on X. You do want to actually vet those sources and look for non-biased, non-leaning sources, and then try to utilize those. So you want to stay away from things like X or CNN or MSNBC or Fox News. Those types of things are biased, but you do have unbiased sources that you can really lean on, like PolitiFacts, Politico, AP News, BBC, those type of actual sources. And then also you can take a look at .org, .gov sites. I like PBS. Most .gov sites, you can actually, as long as you understand the political lens that you're looking through, it can be credible. So you just want to understand those sources. Well, I mean,
it's an opinion sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Your gut feeling is
on a bunch of misfacts. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you're-
let's just lean on our gut feeling and what the good Lord provided us with.
Well, I don't know if you want to
Like-
actually tell
Like,
when you
it's
talk
like being
about.
a parent
Wait, hold
and
on,
knowing
Humble.
someone's drinking out of the milk jug.
Wait, but Humble, how can your gut feel and tell you whether someone is or is not worth a certain amount of money?
Because it's in your heart, man. It's in your soul. You know it.
So your
You
soul,
walk by faith, not by sight.
so your soul can tell you how much money Jasmine Crockett is worth.
I ain't gonna say all that. Like,
But
what
that's
you
what
gonna
we were
expect
talking
me-
about.
I-
That's
show
what
me
we're talking about,
show me
friend.
a big jar of jelly beans, and I'll try to guess it. It ain't like I'm gonna get it just exactly right.
Okay, cool. All right, hold on one second. Let's just keep moving this around the panel. Jesse, how are you this evening, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Jesse, are you excited about the current direction of the country under this Trump administration?
No.
Okay. Hold tight for me 1 second. I'm going to come back to you. And let's see. The one. How are you this evening? The one. Are you there? Oh. Okay. I guess the one is not there. W's in the chat for Hilda, who sent a $5 donation saying, "What's up with the $5 million gold card? Thank you." Yeah, we'll get into that. Donald Trump proposed today that a gold card offer where if you actually pay a $5 million fee that you get citizenship to the United States. So he is proposing to allow people to buy citizenship to the United States. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But also, Humble, you're muted. So, but anyway, let's go here. Juju, 1 second. Humble, it's not your turn to speak yet. Juju.
I want to say one thing. Do you remember in Trump's first administration, he tried to get the Democrats to agree he was going to give the Dreamers all that amnesty if they agreed to build the wall? Remember? Now, come on.
I think there's been a lot of conversation back and forth, but hold tight for a second. Juju, Juju, the floor is yours. What would you like to add?
Thank you. Oh, I'm just gonna add. Well, he left out lawful, whatever. But I was actually reading about the deal. They came to an agreement. I really never realized that they had a lot of natural resources, rare earth metals. Ukraine. See, I knew they had research. I knew they had titanium. I knew they had, the ones that we definitely coal, gas, the normal. But I didn't realize that they had a lot of rare earth metals. I didn't know that. So that was something I just learned reading through this. I knew the basic ones, but I wasn't really sure. But going at there's some. I'm not a government employee. I've never been, but I did hear today that 21 of the top Doge that they actually were in the government. They're not Musk's picks that he brought in, but these were engineers, data analysis, and whatnot. 21 of them have resigned today, but one stayed, and she is now, I don't know her name, it's a female, but she is going to be the head of the Doge. So just so you know, you might want to look that up as well. So I saw that, but it's just, and I don't even know what to say anymore. It's tiresome. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just tired right now. But I was listening to everybody. But I'll go in the comments and let somebody else come up that want to talk.
Okay.
All
right.
And I appreciate you. You know what I would love you to do though, if you maybe one day if you can think about it. This is just a suggestion. Is to do maybe one night to show people how to do find credible resources.
Oh, that actually would be
I actually
fun.
was on a live today, and it was a MAGA guy, but he literally said, you know what I'm going to say? He says, I don't know how to look for that. So, and I said, you know what, maybe, because I know there's bigger platform people that are on here, content creators, maybe they will do it one night just to say, hey, do you want to learn how to find these resources and who's credible and who's not? So maybe that's I'm just going to give a suggestion. I would appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
CBS is not credible.
Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you, and
you're welcome.
You
have a
wonderful
great night. I
rest of your
appreciate
evening.
you always.
Absolutely.
And Santana, I'm sorry for freezing, but I did have some more to say I did make notes while everybody was talking. So.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, so.
Perfect. I will give you the floor. I just wanted to call this out real quick. For anyone that's still listening or that still has any questions about the gold card, apparently the gold card is being pitched to replace the EB-5 program, which was launched in 1990. It offers green cards to individuals who invest in the United States. Donald Trump is proposing a gold card, which bypasses the actual investment portion into the United States and just basically is selling citizenship. So if you are, it says here the U.S. could sell 1 million or more of the gold cards, but they're looking to actually sell citizenship. And Donald Trump, his quote behind this is, wealthy people coming into our country, by buying this card, they'll be wealthy and they'll be successful and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people. So the whole thought process of this is Donald Trump wants to sell citizenship to rich people to come into the country. So there's that. Jesse, the floor is yours.
Just hearing that, is this real? Are we in this timeline? Okay. So I heard transparency, which I think is a joke because Donald Trump told over 30,000 confirmed lies during his first presidency. I also heard that, Nate was offended about Black Star, belittling you, which I found a little bit interesting. I don't think you would ever vote for somebody who would be belittling to like their opponents or something, right? I mean, like that would be crazy. I also heard the other guy say something about if Donald Trump was a Democrat, we'd be voting for him, which is just ludicrous. No, we'd be just as upset at who would be our candidate, regardless, of where he's running. He told you he'd be running as a Republican because you guys are gullible and you'll eat up anything. And then also he says he loves his country, which is not true. You can say it all you want, but your actions have to speak louder than your words. He doesn't love this country. He doesn't care about this country. He doesn't care about our climate. He doesn't believe in climate change. He doesn't believe that we should be working on getting off of our oil dependence. He doesn't believe in any of it. He doesn't believe in bettering this planet for the future generations. And that's something that we really need to focus on. And he's going to take everything that we did and throw it backwards, put a stop to it, put a stop to research for diseases and things like that. Like this is just he's firing volunteers. These people don't even get paid for what they do. Why would you fire them? It doesn't make any sense. So that's where I'm at. Okay.
Okay. All right. Also, just a FYI for anyone that's looking for how do you actually verify biases, because every news source does have some type of bias, whether they are leaning left, leaning right, center, extreme left, extreme right. One place that I like to actually lean on is All Sides. So allsides.com has a really good breakdown of where your actual where biases actually lean for certain publications. Now it does also give an opinionated piece where anyone can actually rate the rating of these opinions, and so you can not only see where those opinions fall with the biases, but then you can also see whether people agree or disagree with those biases. So All Sides is a great place to check media. Let's go here. Nate, I want to come back to you and give you the floor because you're kind of speaking, and I know you were actually
You already
kind of
know
getting
we're
back
banging
to.
over here.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I want to ask her one question real quick, because they keep deviating away from transparency. Hey, so Jesse, who were the Gold Star families? Can you answer that? Go ahead, you have the floor.
Which Gold Star families were you referring to?
No, I was asking her. Who were the Gold Star families, Jesse? Can you name them?
Nope.
Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed it when I was trying to pull up this information. Jesse, did you say something about the Gold Star families, or what are we referring
No.
to?
It,
I
it,
didn't.
it refers to transparency. It's where I'm going with it. It's the main topic where people keep deviating from. It's Trump this and Trump that
So,
all
but
night long.
which Gold Star? I guess that's the confusing part. You threw that out, but
All 13 of them.
oh, are you referring to the ones that where Donald Trump? Oh, okay? You're talking about Afghanistan, like you're talking about those
Okay, but no,
specifically.
see, this is what I'm talking about.
But no,
You're
Nate.
answering for her.
Nate, your
I'm
question was
asking
very
Jesse.
no.
I said no.
Your question was very open ended. I'm trying to keep up and figure out where you're going. You just said the
I
Gold Star
said
families.
transparency. I told you where I was going with it.
No,
What are you talking about?
you said who are the Gold Star families. You do understand there's more than just 13, right?
Well, the 13 that I know about, the ones that were remembered at the RNC.
Well, and
is
see
what-
that's what I'm saying. You're talking about a specific 13, and that's why I was asking who are you talking about? There's more than just 13.
I'm talking about Abigail.
Okay, and that's fine. We can go there. I'm just saying, like I just wanted to know. I wanted you to know why that was a confusing question. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. So the reason why I was asking her that was kind of just to bring up like a little bit of Donald Trump's character, kind of, where he's at, like, because she went into detail about him firing people that are like allegedly volunteers or something, or it's true, maybe it's true, I don't know. But to sit there and actually acknowledge something that happened in history and give this mom and the dads and the brothers and the sisters a voice, not only at the RNC but like for the entire world on the platform, and to like continue remembering them is something. It just speaks volumes. It's something that, like, if you haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch it. Go to the RNC. You can watch it on YouTube and watch the 13 Gold Star families, and it'll tell you how transparent Donald Trump is.
Okay.
Are
All right.
you aware
So
of the 30,000 lies he told during his first presidency? Are you aware of that? Or do you think they were making that up?
You say the 30,000 lives?
30,000. Yes, she told over
30,000
30,000
confirmed
lies.
lies.
Mhm.
Oh, lies. I thought you said lives. No, let me go look at political or PBS, which I don't believe neither of those are a legit source.
Well, again, I gave you a way that you can actually fact check and verify what is actually unbiased and what's not. And also, I would definitely recommend, just doing a little bit more research, because I don't know if you see what I put on the screen and why your question was even more confusing. There's 1.7 million Gold Star families. So, just an FYI with that. But give me a second. I want to speak to this, right? Because you're talking about the transparency of Donald Trump, and you're talking about the transparency of the Trump administration. Yet there has been what some people feel like is a lack of understanding when it comes to like Doge, their actions, what they're doing, because they are indiscriminately firing people, right? That's speaking to the mass layoff, but also, Nate, they are actually not only indiscriminately firing people, they are doing things like firing people that are very vital to the survival of us here in the United States, including firing people that specifically deal with our nuclear arsenal. They fired
CDC.
people. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like places like CDC. I know where you're going. I've read.
Yeah. And which, again, I think, I think there was another Trump supporter. Or no. Dim Sum said it. Like, there's a process to actually downsize the federal workforce. But when you talk about firing people that handle our nuclear arsenal and then realizing, oh, I shouldn't have fired them, let's try to rehire them, and that being an issue, but then also firing the response team that's currently working on the bird flu within the United States, and again, not realizing they were part of the people that were fired, and then they're trying to have to rehire those people. I think there's an understanding that not only is it like it's not systematic in a way that it should be, but they're putting us in jeopardy. I mean, you could talk about like the firings with the FAA and the fact that now planes can't stay in the sky. There was just another plane crash in Arizona today where two planes collided. Two planes flew into each other at the airport in Arizona. So, like, those are the types of things where we understand there's a need to actually shrink the federal government, and you talk about the amount of people, but there's a way to do it, and it seems like the way that the Trump administration is doing is not really transparent, and not only is it not transparent, but it's putting our lives in jeopardy.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. Now, again, Donald Trump went across this entire country, state to state to state, campaigning on this exact issue about how he was going to, reform government, create transparency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, half these people, it's like, don't even respond to the email. It's like, were you even working, or do you have another job?
You
know what I
do
mean?
understand
Not
that
every single
wait.
decision that he makes is
Hold
gonna
on,
be
hold on. You got to
perfect.
stop for a second, Nate, because you're saying they didn't reply to the email. Elon Musk is not a government official. There is a chain of command, especially within the federal government. Think about this for a second, Nate.
If he's appointed by the president of the United States,
there is a
he is
chain.
in the chain of command.
No,
He's in
no,
it.
he's not. He's a White House official. That's just like Stephen Miller or any other random person that works in the White House reaching out to someone, let's say, that works in the IRS and say, tell me what you did last week. Like it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't work that way. They have to, if Elon Musk, as in his official capacity, working with the White House, if he wanted to actually do that, then what he would actually have to do is coordinate that effort with the people that's in the chain of command within the IRS and say, hey, these are the points we want you to actually get this information for us, and then it would have to actually be distributed through their chain of command. You can't just say, hey, I want somebody, like I'm reaching out, you know who I am, and so now you need to tell me what you do, because there's proprietary information, there's sensitive information, there's a bunch of stuff that you can't actually share. Even when you talk about just like the private industry, like you get phishing emails all the time. You can't respond to those things without being told proper
No, that's
chains of
why
command.
Kash Patel told them not to respond to
You're
the email.
absolutely right.
Yes.
There's a lot of
There's certain things
government
that they
agencies
can't
that do
respond
that.
about.
But see, that's breaking it.
You all?
Yeah, go ahead, Black Star.
Okay, I wanted to address his question about the federal government. First of all, the federal government is the largest employer in the United States. It is broken up into so many different agencies, departments, and a whole lot of the departments are not interconnected. And for Donald Trump to give Elon Musk permission to just go through all of these agencies with a wrecking ball, taking away people's jobs. I think it was a very unhumane thing to do. People work, and the way that things are now, most people kind of work and they live at whatever they're used to their income being, and that can be devastating to people. I mean, because you don't have a job. If you making $80,000-$90,000 and your mortgage $3,000, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be calamity. People are it's gonna be civil unrest. I think, and like I said, I retired as a federal employee. You have to go through literally my security clearance, my background, and my security clearance, and the level of clearance that I had, because I had access to people's social security information, all of their medical information, or whatever. So it was kind of high up. It took 3 months for me to be vetted and for my clearance to be approved so I could be officially hired.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shift. Elon Musk could not clear the security.
Yeah.
They doing a little shuffling around the whole Doge thing. Because let me tell you something that I know. Right before he shut down that system, the payment system, amongst other systems, guess what he did? He approved a $500 million contract for himself and his company, in addition to a $38 million grant, free money, that he does not have to pay back. And the reason why they're walking his role back now is because Mr. Musk is under investigation about how he has already misused those funds that he's already been granted. So they're walking him back because it's illegal. He cannot be over an entity because he's looking and dipping and to me to figure out how much more of this money can I grift off of the United States citizens.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm looking for the actual approval and the grant. I would love to see that. I haven't heard that, so I'm not sure.
The
what that-
contract, he got a contract. It was right around, I want to say, it was the 20th, 19th, either the 19th, 20th, or the 21st.
Donald Trump got rid of that contract.
No,
When did
you're
he
referring
do
to the $400 million purchase of Cybertrucks that was Nick's. That's one that definitely got thrown out. I haven't heard the other. It's a SpaceX contract.
Yeah, that's the SpaceX, and he got a $38 million grant, and it makes you leery a little bit because the people who are in charge of the oversight, the inspector generals, how many of them, I can't remember, but I want to say it was at least 3 or 4 that was fired.
No, it was more than that.
Hold on one second.
Was it more than that? But okay, so in their roles are to investigate any kind of vicarious looking situation. And if you're already under investigation, why would you be put in charge of this? Only to get in there to try to clean up a mess.
Now, Santana, I think it's under Neuralink.
Wait, so I'm finding multiple things, right? So the DOD, it looks like there is sorry about that. The DOD, it looks like it says SpaceX has about $220 billion in government contracts, and the vast majority of that, about $15 billion, is derived from NASA for SpaceX, and then SpaceX just received another $733 million national security space launch contract to lift satellites into orbit. They're supposed to be lifting 7,000 satellites in orbits, and you can find this on Reuters. So that is super interesting. Wow.
And just one more thing, and I'll go on mute, Santana.
Okay.
Ever since the inception of Doge, Elon Musk is being paid $8 million per day. I dropped my mic.
Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that as well. I want to fact check that one. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. I know we just kind of got bogged down. A couple of things real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Oye. Oye sent a $20 donation saying a formal apology from the chief of YN activities for the national I'll do better. LOL. Listen, if you want to get up on the panel tonight, I'll make some space for you. You can get it. W's in the chat. Guys, that means we only have $110 left in our nightly donation goal. Guys, there's 370 of us hanging out here, so I know we can definitely take care of that goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. One thing that yes, Nate left. Nate absolutely did leave. One thing that I do want to speak to as well is kind of like mentioning the vetting process and something interesting about your old buddy Santana, is I have went through national security vetting before, and I went through FBI vetting because I have been in an area where our nuclear arsenal is, where it's located, and I can tell you for a fact, the actual process in poking and prodding and everything that goes into being able to get that type of clearance, it's not something that's normal for everyday people. And the fact that Doge, the people that are connected with Doge, are pretty much handpicked by Elon Musk, and they are subverting the actual process that it takes to get that type of clearance, it's concerning. It's absolutely concerning. It's not normal. It's not something that should happen. So anyway, with that being said, let's do this. Is it Sasa? Sasa, is that how you say your username? Is it Sasa? S-A-S-A? How do you say your username? Okay, I'm gonna come back to you then. Spirit, how are you? Spirit, if you're speaking, I can't hear. Can anyone hear me? Am I talking to myself? What's happening? Black Star, are you still there?
I can't hear nobody.
I can
Hey
hear you,
Alexa,
Santana.
stop. Okay, so it's just the people that I was talking to. Spirit,
Yeah.
Spirit, are you there?
Something went wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna drop you down. Living Room Gamer. Living Room Gamer, can you come off mute? I've seen you in the chat. There we go. Living Room Gamer, how are you this evening, my friend?
How are you, man?
Good, good, good. Living Room Gamer, are you excited about the current direction of the country under this Trump administration?
Yeah, I am. I mean, like, I know there's concerns with Doge. I don't believe that, like, the way that y'all make it seem like they're gonna have access, but I don't think that they're exposing everyday Americans.
You don't
know
think
what I'm
so?
saying? No, I don't think you could. If you could give me one, you know what I'm saying, then I could go, oh,
Yeah.
I think they're kind of doing it for the greater good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was a publication where Doge was quote unquote trying to be transparent, and they were publishing different information, and they published the name of certain classified individuals that work within the federal government, and so they compromised those individuals and their identity that's used to actually protect the United States. So that was a situation where they're exposing things that shouldn't be exposed.
Okay. Well, that's kind of wrong. But hopefully, I mean, like this has never been done before.
It has. This department literally has been around, and they just took this department. I don't know if you heard. I think maybe it was Dim Sum or Black Star or Casserole, but someone was talking about the fact that the 21 people actually resigned today. This department has been around, but Donald Trump took it and renamed it, and actually has put different people in charge. And so then you have people who are part of this, like data scientists and engineers and people that are vital to our country, who all today, 21 of them actually resigned in a protest, saying that they said that they refuse to actually do the things that will dismantle the important mechanisms of our country, or expose everyday American sensitive information. They said the actions that are being asked of them by the people that are quote unquote running Doge is putting our country in jeopardy, and they refuse to actually use their skills and their knowledge to actually further those things of happening. So 21 people who
No, but why?
because of what Doge is doing, what Doge is asking them to do. They said specifically it's going to dismantle the actual systems of our government, vital systems of our government, and it's going to expose sensitive information of everyday Americans.
I mean, I could see the point, but like even whenever like they were talking about they sent out the email, you know what I'm saying? They sent out the email where like, hey, we're just checking to see if you're working. It's like when I saw that Social Security like numbers where the numbers were like one person was 350, like all that type of stuff. They're just like doing like a sonar check, like you know what I'm saying, like who is here, like where's the money going?
Yeah, but you do know that's not true, right?
No, so none of that's true.
Yeah, so the actual Social Security system has a checks and balances. It has a mechanism in it where if anyone is over the age or they hit the age of 115, no matter if they're alive or not, they actually automatically get kicked out of the system, and they have to actually verify that they're still alive.
So that's not true.
Correct.
So can you give me a source to that, please?
Sure, I would be more than happy to give you a source on that. Let me get a couple of other people in. Also, let me just verify this information that I was speaking to as well. So there's an AP article talking about the 21 staffers.
Oh, AP. Can you give me a different source?
Well, hold on. I'm speaking to the actual people that put in their resignation. It's 21 staffers. They wrote a joint letter and they sent it to the Associated Press.
Cobalt system.
They sent it to the Associated Press and specifically stated how that it's become clear that we can no longer honor our commitments. And in the letter, they also said anyone who thinks this protest, lawsuit, and lawfare will deter. Oh no, hold on. I'm sorry. That's someone else's quote. I apologize. 1 second here. Where is it? Oh, here. It says that we're refusing to use our technical expertise to dismantle critical public services. And then they said, we swore to serve American people and uphold the oath of the Constitution across presidential administrations. And so that's why they actually made the decision to.
It's kind of crazy because they swore their oath to across their administrations. That just sounds sus.
Do you know what that means, Living Room Gamer, when they say across presidential administrations?
Yeah, it means that they're not holding their oath.
That's not what that means. Across presidential administrations, that means that it says uphold our oath. Exactly, our oath to the Constitution across presidential administrations, meaning no matter who the president is, we're always going to honor the Constitution, not the president.
Right.
And Donald Trump was specifically asking them to honor him as the president and not their oath to the Constitution.
Well, that's a take. Like, I don't know if it was that or just somebody being insubordinate.
Well, no, again, this was a protest vote, and all of them signed on saying this. And just so you understand, like, what this really is, this department, right? This is a small department that was in place, and when Donald Trump was elected and Doge came in, they laid off 45 people. So there were only 65 people left in this department. And then they all started talking about like the different things that were happening. And then of the 65 people, 21 of them decided that they were going to actually resign in a protest vote. So that means there's only 44 people left for this department that's in place. And you're talking about people that are engineers, they're data scientists, they're project managers. They're critical pieces. They're actual people that that actually do very important work to keep our country safe. And they're saying that if they would actually try to continue to do their job the way that Elon Musk and Doge is actually pointing them to do it, it would harm the country.
No, I hear you. But I've seen this in many businesses where like new management comes in and they like put down what they expect and what it is, and if you're not down with if you're not down to clown, if you're not willing to, because they have a vision where they want it to go, they cut them. They let them go find another job. That happens all around America all the time. But to sit there and insinuate that like people aren't going to be replaced that does the job just as efficient, if not more efficient, it's just crazy. But I wanted to know when you said that the Social Security, the numbers of people that were on there was not true. Where's the source of that?
Yeah, I'll get to that. Let me just say this, guys. W's in the chat for Alejandro, who sent $1 donation saying, did you hear about the Trump that create a gold card for rich immigrants so they get special privileges more than the green card? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, he's trying to do that to get rich people into the country. Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
but
Hold
that's
on one
not a
second.
bad
Hold on one
thing.
second. It absolutely is,
Alright,
Living
okay.
Room Gamer. But guys, W's in the chat for Alejandro for that dollar donation. Guys, that means we only have $109 left in our nightly donation goal. I know we can take that. We got 345 people hanging out, so if 109 people send $1, we can close out our nightly donation goal. So Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all of my pay links are in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24 is the best way to support the live. If you enjoy the information, education, entertainment, please consider donating. Everything is accepted. Anything is appreciated. Black Star, Casserole, and Dim Sum. I'm going to go ahead and swap you guys out. We're going to drop you down so we can get more friendlies in. But I appreciate all three of you guys hanging out with us, okay?
Thanks for having
All right,
me.
thanks for having me.
All right, thank you. Also, guys, keep tapping the screen. The likes have been super slow this evening. We're only at 63,000 likes, and I know I've been kind of all over the place. I want us to let's tap the screen. Let's go ahead and get up to 125. As a matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna throw this timer up here. We're gonna give it a 10-minute countdown. We got 10 minutes to get up to 125,000 likes. If we are not at 125,000 likes in 10 minutes, we will go to sub only. So let's tap the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things. Let's go ahead and get up to 125,000 likes. Let's W's in. Hold on. W's in the chat for Sharon. Sharon sent a $20 donation to go towards the nightly donation goal. And also W's in the chat for Kathy. Kathy sent, Sharon said, keep educating. Sharon, thank you so much for that $20 donation. You are absolutely far too kind. And W's in the chat for Kathy, who sent a $29 donation and saying, thanks for always being the voice of reason. Thank you so much for that, Kathy. You are absolutely amazing. Guys, that means we're only $60 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Thank you so much to both Sharon and Kathy. Let's see here. I want to introduce the new people on the panel. I want to get back into the conversation, and then I am going to pull up that source for you. So real quick, I'm just going to introduce the two people that I don't know first, since I know the other two people. Liz, are you excited about the direction of the country under this new Trump administration? Liz the Menace? Liz the Menace, are you there? Liz the Menace, I am sending you an invite to...
I think the way you set it up, I had to click on it. It was weird.
Yeah, the TikTok keeps changing where the mute is, so it's weird.
You gotta click on his. You gotta click on his profile picture and then hit on mute.
Yeah. Well, Liz left. I sent a request to come off mute. Yeah. W's in the chat for Ashley, who sent a $9 donation saying, I'm exhausted of this administration. Ashley, I am as well. I am perturbed, Ashley. I am perturbed. It is, Ashley, I am perturbed. W's in the chat for Ashley for that $9 donation. You are absolutely so kind. Thank you. Sapphire, how are you this evening? Sending you an option to come off mute.
I'm great.
Wonderful. Sapphire, are you excited about the current direction of the country under this new Trump administration?
I am not.
Okay, perfect. So Sapphire, what would you like to add to the conversation?
Well, I am a federal employee. I will say that.
Okay.
And a lot of people get a misconception about, what federal workers do. There are over 2 million of federal workers, and
Two
so
two
they want
point
to say,
is
well,
it 2.3 or
yeah, go
2.7?
2.3, I think.
2.3 million.
2.3.
Yeah, 2.3 million. You were just looking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And so they assume that we're not working. But if we wasn't working, the country wouldn't be moving. So it's just interesting how people think that firing individuals, federal employees, is going to be a move in the right direction for the country, when in all actuality, if you look at Project 2025, that is exactly what they're planning to do: fire a lot of federal employees and replace them with loyalists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sad.
And to be specific on that point, Santana, they want to fire about 1 million federal employees, which is half.
Correct.
So think
Yes.
about that. If half the federal government goes away, by the way, the federal government is the largest employer in this country, right?
Correct.
Unemployment is going to skyrocket, and nothing's going to work because half the people that do the job will be gone.
Correct. Like claims to get your VA benefits, like
Money-
claims to get your Social Security benefits.
Hold on one second.
So if you
Liberal
think the
Gamer.
claims are slow now, just think how slow they'll be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you continue to talk. I'll just say it's amazing how many people from the IRS that they laid off during tax season. Anyway, keep going.
Yep.
Yeah, that part.
So let's do this. Hawk, what would you like to add?
Well, I wanted to come up because he was talking about this incoming group, Doge or whatever, replacing everybody or whatever, and that's just business. First and foremost, for the 1 millionth time, the United States government is not a business. They are not there to make a profit, right? So get that out of your head. More importantly, good management, and I'm going to be more specific and say good leadership. When a new commander comes into a unit, they don't just throw everything away and start from scratch or whatever. They take the first 3 to 6 months to look at the unit, to analyze what's going on, to see what's working and maybe what's not working as well as it should be or whatever. And then they put a plan together to make whatever changes they decide to make. You don't do that when you walk in on day one. That's piss poor leadership.
Correct. I agree. And by the way, all federal employees.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say all federal employees, military, take an oath. I mean, this is an oath to protect the Constitution, as you had stated earlier. A lot of people got it misunderstood, you know, and Doge and some of those people, they haven't even passed clearance. So how
Nope.
they in our personal information? You have to pass clearance. I mean, my husband even works for the federal government, and he has a card where he can go in one building, but the other building he can't even get in because he don't have clearance just to go into a door. So you mean to tell me that we're allowing individuals to look at our personal information and they haven't even passed clearance?
And
Come on now.
to that point, in my career, based on the jobs that I had, I only had a secret clearance. But even that secret clearance took 3 to 6 months for me to get that clearance. You don't get a clearance overnight.
Correct.
They do major background checks. They'll go and talk to your neighbors when you were 10 years old, right?
That's right.
They do serious background checks when you get a clearance. And I only had a secret clearance. If you have a top secret clearance or a TSSI, right, meaning like eyes only kind of stuff or whatever, a background check on that shit could take a year or more. Right? So these people don't have clearances. They have no idea what they're doing. And oh, by the way, they're not subject matter experts, right? Because it's more than just accounting. It has to be accounting in a specific area, right? So if it has to do with personnel, then not only do you need to understand the accounting portion of it, you need to understand the HR portion of it, right?
Correct.
And that's where they're really screwing up, because that's how they got rid of those nuclear scientists and everything else or whatever, not understanding what they were doing because they're not HR specialists, right? They don't have subject matter experts doing any of these so-called audits. And that's another thing. Audits don't take 2 weeks either. Audits take months or years.
Correct.
But what you said earlier, Hawk, that this is not a business. It kind of really is.
It's not.
It's not.
It's
And
absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell
Can
you
I
why.
explain why? Can I say my point?
Okay,
Well,
go ahead
let me
and
tell you.
hold on.
I'm sorry.
Let him
Okay.
explain why he thinks it is, and then we can get into it.
Right.
Right. Well, usually when business there is a transaction for funds, right?
Uh-huh.
So like if I pay taxes and I expect taxes to go towards something, and let's say that it doesn't go towards that, then I'm being robbed of a transaction. It is business. We all put in to get what we want.
So can I now tell you why that's not correct?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so in a business, you have a board of directors, and then you have a CEO, and then you have the employees of that business. The board of directors empowers that CEO to have basically omnipotent powers. They can do whatever they want to do or whatever to make the company profit, right? If the CEO doesn't do that job based on the example you just gave or whatever, then the board of directors can fire that CEO. Our government doesn't work that way. We have 3 branches of government for checks and balances. You have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch, right? And none of them can really do their jobs without the other. They have to work together or it doesn't work. That's the problem we're having right now. The executive branch is trying to do everybody else's
isn't
job
the
instead
same
of their
in
own
business?
doggone job.
Hold on one second, Living Room Gamer. Finish your point, Hawk.
So the president can't make a decision like a CEO and just do whatever he wants or whatever. It has to be lawful, constitutional, and be able to get past the scrutiny of the judicial branch and Congress. If it doesn't, then the president can't do it.
Correct.
And again, to your example, the government is not in business of profit. We are also a representative country, right? So we elect our representatives to manage those budgets, right? And they do, for the most part, they do their job, right? So there were already systems in place and departments in place to run audits on the different areas of the government or whatever for those people that either might not be doing their job well, or in some cases there might have even been some fraud or whatever. There were already systems in place to conduct those audits. You didn't need some special unit or whatever to come in. They're looking for a certain thing. They're looking to find enough money to cover the tax cuts that they want to give to the top 1%. That's all they're doing. And they're not looking in all of the places where there could really be some mismanagement or whatever. They're looking at our benefits. They're cutting stuff like money from the VA and money from Medicare and stuff like that. That's going to affect every American in this country. They're not looking at the DOJ budget, right? Which is the biggest part of the government's budget.
Hold on one second, Living Room Gamer. Also, let me read these off real quick before we get too far away. Guys, W's in the chat for Donnie. Donnie sent a $5 donation, said Trump loves the hold on. Trump loves the uneducated loyalists. You're absolutely right about that. And then also followed up with the $1 donation, said you have someone with a fake account. Close your CA. Oh, so someone's made a fake. Yeah, if someone made a fake account of mine, please, yeah. Guys, my payment is Santana Speaks 24. Santana Speaks 24. I don't have any other. There's one other one, but I don't use it anymore. But if you are sending any payments, it's to Santana Speaks 24. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, we found that we've reported fake accounts. So please be careful if you're gonna send any donations. It only goes to Santana Speaks 24. I will make sure that I see if I can report whatever. I'll look for that. Also, W's in the chat for Anna. Anna, I need to know if you did. Anna, you sent 2 donations, and both of them were for $20 a piece. One said keep educating, keep working, keep educating, and then another one said keep educating. Anna, if you are in the chat, can you let me know, did you mean to send 2 payments of $20 each? I know you had like kind of different messages, but I want to make sure, because if you were only trying to send one, I want to make sure that I send it back to you. So Anna, if you are in the chat, please, you did? Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Anna. Anna sent a total of $40. You are absolutely too kind. Thank you so much. So guys, that means we are only now $5 away from closing out our nightly donation goal. Thank you so much, Anna. And again, guys, it's only going to be Santana Speaks 24. That is the only place that you can donate. If you see anything that says anything different, do not send any money there. With that being said, I found the actual information as far as the Social Security, and this is just for you, Living Room Gamer. You can go to the Social Security Administration.gov, so it's SSA.gov. There's a whole PDF. I was trying to comb through the actual 124-page document to find the specific line. It outlines that in the overview that a 300-year-old person would not be able to receive SSS payments because of this fictional scenario. They would be deceased and ineligible to collect benefits from Social Security program, including the SSI. The program requires that an individual is eligible. You must be 65 years or older, bind, and have the ability to qualify for SSS. And you said that you wouldn't meet the criteria. And specifically, I'm going to get the information about the system that is in place that kicks people out. So give me a minute for that, but you can view that information. Odell, how are you this evening, my friend?
Fine, how you doing?
Wonderful. W's in the chat for Donnie, who sent a $10 donation to close out the nightly goal. Thank you so much, Donnie. You are absolutely amazing. Thank you. Odell, are you excited about the current direction of our country under this new Trump administration?
Actually, I'm not. I'm a retired police officer from Texas. I was a detective. And I also had to get vetted because I work with FBI task force. And we had to get vetted. It took about 2 months. And Donald Trump is just, for going through all the barricades that we have, like you said, they fired all those people that are being laid off, and future ones that are going to be laid off or fired. So I'm kind of in the middle of the road of what to do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I definitely understand. It's scary, right? And especially with you saying you being someone that's a former law enforcement. I mean, you've served not only your community, people around you, but our country as well. And I think that's interesting when you talk about the people that are receiving. I guess you can somewhat call it backlash. Because I'll ask you this question, Odell. Are you said you're retired? Are you retired with benefits?
Yeah, I'm disabled now, so I get Social Security. But I served for 20 years, and now I'm getting disability. But like I said, Trump is just tearing this country apart by all his recklessness.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I worry about people who are older, who are, collecting Social Security, that's on Medicaid, that rely on these social safety nets, and they're being directly attacked. It's concerning, and it's even more concerning because you have people who say that like this is what we voted for. Donald Trump actually went out and stumped for this and all of these other things. But like I Living Room Gamer, you tell me. I mean, did you vote for Donald Trump to actually fire thousands of people?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, to me, like, sometimes, like, change is tough. Like, change is tough. Like, I get it.
Can I?
Like, hold on.
Can
Change
I say something?
Hold on one second, bro.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish your point, Living Room Gamer.
Yeah, change is tough. Like, do I want to see people without a job? No. No, I do not. You know what I'm saying? But it's like sometimes, like, in order for, you have to go through the night to see the sunrise. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't wish nobody not to have a job, ever. And I get it. Like, people, like, are being laid off. It's horrible. I get it. But I'm thinking, like, past that, like, towards the end game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So your thoughts are more so that the ends justify the means.
the ends always justify the means. Without that, there's no work, there's no hard work, there's no outcome, there's no nothing. If you don't put the work in and make the sacrifices, correct.
Okay, all right. 1 second here. I'm gonna let everyone respond, but real quick, Living Room Gamer, and I'm gonna put this on the screen. I found the information with the. I don't know why it's not coming up on the screen. That's
They're
weird.
not like millions. Yeah, like
But
200.
hold on 1 second. If you go to cbpp.org,
Can you? I know I've been in here a lot of times. Can you just send it to me in a message?
yeah, I'll see if we can get this to you. I was trying to put it on the screen. I don't know why my stuff isn't coming up on the screen. I gotta figure that out. But anywho, the actual it's on cbpp.org, and it speaks to the SSA has a rigorous protocol to stop payments of beneficiaries who have unalived, and it shows here the policy. It says benefits were paid to over 100 people. SSA has a policy to stop the payments by age 115. So yes.
But
Now
they just threw that number out there, and they threw a bunch of the numbers. It was crazy numbers.
Yeah, I mean they did. They made a lot of statements. Now, it is not to say that there is 100% accuracy as far as anyone and any type of systems, but they do have here that there's only 0.1% of Social Security benefits that are being paid to people over 100. So even the people that's over 100 that's being paid is a very, very small amount.
Well, 1% is still a lot. How many people?
No, but you're not hearing what he's saying.
No,
How many people do you know?
What he's saying. I hear
How
what
many
he's saying.
people do you know that live to be over 100 years old? So there's
Right.
only a handful. That's what we're saying.
1% of the country is a lot.
No,
Wait,
it's not.
hold on.
No.
No,
It's
but
not
those-
1% of the country. It's not. It's let me
It's
be very
1%
clear.
of the people that get Social Security.
Exactly.
How many people on Social Security?
You can look that up. You can find that information.
I'm pretty sure 1% of Social Security is a lot.
Okay, so you're seriously missing the point, though, right? First of all, the
I
error
hear
that they made when they told you how much was supposedly being misappropriated or missing from Social Security was because they didn't understand the programming of the system, right? The system had a default date set to 1895 or something like that or whatever for anyone that they didn't have an actual birth date for. That don't mean that people born in 1895 is still getting Social Security checks. They just didn't know how to read the programming. Right?
And also,
that's the
No,
issue.
if a check is being sent out, that's different.
No, that's what I'm saying. There was no check being sent out. They told you that people that was 300 years old was getting checks, and that was wrong. They just didn't know how to read the programming.
Exactly.
No checks were going out to 300-year-old people because ain't no damn 300-year-old people.
Exactly.
Bro, there ain't none.
Right.
and you got to keep in
that's
mind
the point.
also that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Hold tight for 1 second, because there's a couple other, or actually go ahead, D Expression, because you were here longer, you haven't gotten to speak, but I want to get to everybody else and give everyone else an opportunity to speak. But go ahead, D Expression.
Yeah, I wanted to let everyone talk and kind of get an idea on it. I heard everybody's explanation for why this is right, but this is not right because point blank is you got to remember that 1% is precise because some people actually depends on that 1%. If you take away that 1%, it may make a difference between their medication being paid for or their medical bills being paid for them having to visit a medical doctor every week. So 1% makes a difference in people's lives that depends on it. And not only that, also you got to remember, as my man was saying, that the presidential White House and the government and the country, it's not a business because you got to keep in mind. Let's say this for instance: you at a hospital, you got to have surgery done for your heart. Now, will you want a brain surgeon working on your heart? Now, that's the difference between who you got working in the White House, doing certain job titles, doing certain occupation, doing certain positions. That's what it's all about. And about the security clearance, that's very important because it's just like I just said, you don't want a heart surgeon working on working on your brain as well as you don't want your a brain surgery working on your heart. So it's all about experience. It's all about that person fitting that certain spot, that certain machine to keep the country running properly. So if you take that out of the scenario, everybody with a heart condition is going to die because that brain surgeon is
Unalive.
going to say, "Fuck, I don't know anything about a heart."
Unalive. Yeah. No,
I'm done.
absolutely.
I'm done. That's all I got to say. As simple as that.
No, I
Absolutely.
agree. I agree. But if you got a machine, a person that can like crunch numbers, right, and like see certain things, right, you would say that like is a good tax advisor, a good like you know what I'm
No, I
saying,
wouldn't.
No,
money
no,
manager, right?
No, I wouldn't. I
no,
mentioned that
no.
earlier.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I know you're
Okay,
not talking
No.
about
so
Elon
somebody
Musk. He
that's
can't
good
Hold on,
with
hold on,
money.
hold
He
on,
never
guys.
could.
Hold on 1 second. We got too many people talking at one time. One at a time. One at a time. Also, W's in the chat for D-Spec, who sent a $5 donation saying, Santana, I sent you SSA information in the chat. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. But thank you, mods. If you can, you put it in the chat again, and mods can one of the mods send it to me. I'm sorry. Let's.
Can I address
Yeah.
his issue
You
about?
absolutely can. You absolutely can. I was just about to
Okay,
come back to you.
okay. He had made mention about what's this gentleman's name here? Living room.
Living
He had
room
made
gamer.
mention about people. Oh, living room game. Okay, about people being laid off versus being fired. First and foremost, what should happen if you want to go in and you want to look at overspending, why would you fire the people instead of laying them off so that they can get at least unemployment? So you go
I
in and
think
you
he's
fire people.
offered
Hold on one
firing.
second.
Hold
Hold on
on,
one
hold
second,
on,
living room
hold
gamer.
on.
1 second. Go ahead and finish your point.
He's terminating people so they can't even go get unemployment. You can't get unemployment if you're fired, and then they're firing them, stating that they were insufficient. You know, I'm gonna use the word insufficient in their job, when you haven't even looked at their record. So how would you know that they were inefficient in their job, and you terminate them instead of laying them off?
Well, first of all, you can get unemployment whether you're fired or not.
Not in every state.
That's not
Every
true.
state is
No,
different.
yeah,
That's
that's
correct.
definitely
Not
not
true.
true.
I've gotten it with fired. If I was fired or
Yeah,
some
that
It's a
that's
fight.
definitely not true. Exactly, it's not true. And with unemployment, they actually work to ensure that they don't have to pay those unemployment benefits out. So they do look for ways
That's
to get
right.
around it. So you're in if you are fired in a lot of states, you don't qualify for unemployment.
but that doesn't mean that people don't qualify.
Yeah, you're right.
Majority of them
I mean,
will not qualify for benefits under a termination. I don't know what state you live in,
I
but
live
in
in
my
Florida.
state, if you're fired, okay, in my state, Oklahoma, so we share the same type of laws. If you are fired in the state of Oklahoma, you will not receive your unemployment. You will have to fight to prove that you are in the right in order to get
Right,
those
but you
benefits.
will get unemployment if you're in the right.
No, it
But
again,
why
it
should
doesn't
those
work.
people
It
have
doesn't
to
work
fight?
that way. Even if you are quote
It
unquote in the.
does.
Wow.
I've been
Hold on,
fired
hold
and
on, hold
I
on,
did
hold on,
that.
hold on, living room gamer. Hold on, living room gamer. So, and you can look this up. I will put it on the screen, but again, I don't know what's happening with my extra screen. But if you go to esd.gov, you can look at the different benefits when it comes to being laid off and how that actually works as far as being laid off versus being fired. You can still qualify for unemployment benefits if you are fired, but there is a dispute process that the employer can go
Correct.
through, and if the employer actually disputes those payments of your benefits as far as you being fired, and they give quote unquote just reasons, then you won't be able to collect. And so if they feel like that they fired you for a just reason, then you won't be able to collect those unemployment benefits. So it really comes back to the employer and how much they push back on it. And for anyone that has worked in that type of realm, and I have people in and around that I have dealt with who know for a fact how that actually works, and they know that and I hate to say it like this, they work for companies and their job has been to say, no, we're not going to pay out unemployment benefits. Companies try their best not to pay those benefits out.
Yes,
Correct.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. But if you are not wrong, no wrong shall come to you. Yes,
My point.
you have to go
But
through
the
hoops.
point.
You have to go
But
through
the
hoops. It sucks. It sucks. But if you are
but
fired for wrongness, you will be
okay.
compensated.
These people were not fired for wrongness. These people were fired because they are not loyalists to Donald Trump. That's the
No,
problem.
Donald
No,
Trump
hold on,
planned
hold
on
on, hold
downsizing.
on, hold on. So if they were terminated, why just if you're going to clean up the government as you quote, as they're quoting they're going to do, why not just lay the people off so that they would not have to fight for the unemployment? The way it's being done now, if they're fired, they have a fight on their hands. I don't understand that. That's not
Well,
fair.
and
They're
Sapphire, he
giving
said
them
something else.
chances. They're
Hold
not
on, living room, hold on, because you said something else that was wrong. Depending upon what state you in, and in the
Mm-hmm.
government, depending upon what department you're in and what rules you fall under, you can be fired for cause. They don't need a reason to fire you. They can just fire you.
Yes, correct. Florida's a right
But
to work state. So
but
yes,
that's not a good thing either, because in this case, these people are being fired for cause and they haven't done anything wrong.
Thank you.
So this is going to be
but
a lot of lawsuits too, because the
he
other thing that you guys
ran
don't
on
understand. Hold on a
downsizing.
second, sir. The other thing that you guys don't understand is the vast majority of government workers are in a union, right? So they also have union rules that they have to follow. You can't just fire people because you don't want them there anymore. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. All right, let's push it around the panel because I do. Hold on one second, living room gamer. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that we let other people speak that's on the panel as well. So I'm gonna go to Barbaro Sim, or how do I say your username? Barbaro, sending you a request to come off mute. Barbaro, are you there? Barbaro going once. Barbaro going twice. Or Barbo? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna drop you down. You can request back up if you come back. Sam, what would you like to add to the conversation?
I'm also a federal employee and a veteran, and I work for I work for a cybersecurity program for DHS. We are in the hot seat. We're waiting to find out what happens with us. I'm an incredibly hard worker. I work my ass off, and my husband and I need my paycheck to support our family. And it's terrifying to live like this day to day. I've dedicated my heart and soul to the program that I'm on, and I'm just kind of living with this umbrella over my head of, will I have a job tomorrow when I go in? And it's really hard. And I think that's what a lot of Trump voters don't get. I think a lot of times if it doesn't affect them, they don't care as much.
But did you respond to the email?
Living room
I'm sorry?
gamer, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sam. Living room gamer, please stay on mute until people finish speaking. Just hold on. Go ahead and finish what you're saying, Sam.
So I was just saying that I think that it's really cruel. And I think for people that are constantly preaching about they're pro-life and they care about people, this isn't the way that you do that. And they're not vetting the employees that they're terminating, by the way. They're just terminating in mass. Which that's not the way to do it either. I agree that the government spends too much money and it needs to be cleaned up. But this isn't the way to do it. You're toying with people's lives, and you're toying with people's lives that not only that, you're gonna have a lot of people that you're terminating or getting rid of that have access to classified and sensitive materials. How do you think that they're gonna react to that? There's not like Sapphire was saying. I also work a lot with security clearances. I have a TSSCI, and one of the things that you have to do whenever you leave a government program is you have to go through this instance where you basically are told, hey, you have a clearance. It's still going to be active for a little bit until we get you out of it, but these people, all that that Trump's pissing off and Elon Musk are pissing off, that have access to our classified materials, what do you think they have any loyalty to the country anymore? I wouldn't.
That's a dangerous statement.
No, I still have a job, so I can say that. But I'm just saying, that's, to me, that was like the first thing I thought of. That's common sense. If you're going to terminate somebody and you're terminating them for no other reason, then you're assuming they're not doing their job because they're not, by the way, living room, responding to an email that my directors told me not to respond to.
That part.
So,
I was gonna say they don't work for Doge, so they didn't have to respond to that damn email.
That's
right. So my directors at DHS said absolutely no one will respond to that email. And we haven't. So who am I supposed to listen to? Am I supposed to listen to Elon Musk, who, by the way, nobody elected and doesn't really run anything except, well, I'm not going to go there. Am I supposed to listen to Elon Musk, who is never elected and doesn't really run? Or am I supposed to listen to to my immediate supervisors and my agency lead, who I have been working with for the last 5 years? What am I supposed to do?
Follow the chain of command. You know it.
Exactly. But people like Living Room think that this is such an easy. You just answer the email. No, I don't. I have access to information that I can't respond. I can't even if I could respond to that email, I wouldn't be able to accurately define what I did for the last 5 days.
Because the person you're sending that information to might not have the proper clearance to receive that information.
Exactly. And I have no idea.
You could say you had a coffee, you went to lunch.
Wait, so
and
living room.
It said 5 things. It didn't say anything about work.
Wait, so living room, you think that if someone were to respond to that email and they respond in a facetious way, you think that that would do anything beneficial for them outside of getting them fired quicker?
Well, I mean, obviously, if I got an email from the president talking about
That's not from the president.
It's not?
No.
No, it's
No,
not.
nobody elected Elon. Elon wasn't on the ballot.
No, we're not talking about that. Like, Trump said it today.
Trump said it, but that didn't come from the office of the presidency. And even more, you have to understand. And
Would you
Hawk
have
said
a problem with AI? Like, if AI was given
hold
future
on,
president?
hold on, because
information?
you're pivoting. Just hold on for 1 second. Trump didn't send that out, and like Hawk actually made the point, you follow the chain of command. You follow the chain of command.
Right.
You understand where the actual information is coming from.
Chain of command.
Exactly. But listen, living room gamer.
President.
Listen, just stop and just listen for a second. I know you really want to get into it, and I promise you, you're not understanding. The whole point is if they wanted to do this in an official way, they could. Instead of Elon Musk sending out this email to everyone, if Elon really wanted someone to actually respond with 5 things that they did last week, then they would reach out to the head of said departments, like the IRS or the FBI or whatever, and say, hey, this is what we're looking for. I need you to disseminate this information and collect this for us. And then they would pass that information down through their chain of command, and it would actually be received, and people would do that. But having an outside entity try to reach into the government and say, send the last 5 things that you did, no one should reply to that. I don't care if you're a Trump loyalist or you hate Trump with all your guts. You shouldn't do that. I mean, even from the private sector,
All right.
we deal with things when it comes to fishing.
Let me ask you one question, I'll get off.
Living room gamer, do you at least
Right.
understand anything that I just said?
I did. But this is where, I always say, end game. Let's just say that Trump does what he's doing, right? Let's just say by the end of his 4 years, because I think he's playing for legacy, because he can't be elected again. You know what I'm saying?
Why is he talking about being elected again then?
I know he joke about it, but that's not how
That's not
our
funny to me.
It's not a joke.
Why
That's
you
not
think they
funny
joke?
to me.
I think he's trying to detach himself from anything
No,
that's all those
listen, that's
big
not
efforts.
how our country works, so it doesn't matter what the
but
fuck
you say, wait, hold on, living room gamer. You say
Can I
that,
just finish my
but no, hold on. But your logic is flawed, right? You
No,
say this.
I don't
No,
think he's gonna be
you
elected
say
in the third
you
term.
say that's not how our government works. But it also works where if the judicial branch says that something is unconstitutional or unlawful and you have to stop, then normally the executive branch stops. But right now, the judges are saying, Trump, you can't do that. And Trump is saying, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. So, no, certain things don't work that way. But Donald Trump is already showing that he doesn't follow the
But
norms.
ultimately, the Constitution rules, bro.
Donald Trump, I'm sorry, go ahead and just say what you have to say. Go ahead, LeBron Gamer.
Yeah, I'll bounce out of here.
You don't have to leave.
Trump-
I just want us to be able to actually talk.
I gotta get off. I gotta get up in actually 2 hours, go on a 16-hour shift. It's all
But
right.
you see, this is what you don't understand is that Donald Trump, the reason they got Elon Musk, I don't supposed to say this. I don't want no one to know that it's
No,
conspiracy.
hold on,
But the
D.
reason,
Express. Hold on. No, we don't want to say it then. Just hold on. Go ahead, Living Room Gamer.
Let's just say by the end of, let's just say within the next 2 years, our GDP is up, inflation is down.
Both of them, our GDP is down, or not down. The stock market is down, inflation is up. But go ahead.
No. Our GDP is up. Our
Stock market is
inflation
down,
is down.
inflation is up. I don't know if you're checking.
No,
Inflation is
that's not
up.
what I said,
No,
bro.
I'm telling you what it is right now. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
I can respond to what you said, Living Room. I can respond to what you said. Let's assume you're right, and whatever he's doing, it works or whatever. But to answer earlier question you asked, there's approximately 60 to 70 million people right now on Social Security and Medicare, right? Half of those people will be gone before we realize whatever you just described, because they're not going to get the care that they need or the money that they need to survive. So somewhere around 30 or 40 million people will be gone. That's the means to the end that you were talking about earlier, right? Because you're talking about some means to an end when it comes to some accounting BS or whatever. But what you're missing is that all of these programs that they're attacking for this means to an end is going to affect the elderly of this country. And all of those people on Social Security and Medicare and veterans as well will be drastically harmed by this.
Yeah. Hey, let me hold on. Let me read this off real quick because Living Room Gamer, someone specifically has a message for you. W's in the chat for Haley. Haley sent $1 donation saying, "I'm curious since Living Room thinks people losing their jobs is all so they can save money. Why is it Trump trying to raise the debt ceiling? Why is Trump one tax plan more? Why is one tax plan more than what he will save?" I think she's trying to say if it's all about being efficient and cutting jobs, and that's the reason. Why is it that they're looking to actually pass a tax plan that's going to add $4 trillion to the deficit? Like, are you okay with that? They're cutting people benefits, and then they're going to actually give tax cuts to the ultra wealthy.
You know how many times I've been let go because I've made too much money?
Oh.
A lot.
What does that got to do with what we're talking about? We're talking about people that are already retired and drawing Social Security and using Medicare because that's the healthcare system for our elderly or whatever. They're cutting money from those programs so that they can fund these tax cuts for the rich people. Hold on a second. They're cutting the funds from these programs so that they can fund the tax cuts that they want to give to millionaires. See, the last time they gave them this tax cut, that just went to the deficit. They don't want to add to the deficit. So they're trying to find this money to be able to pay for the tax cuts they want to give to the 1%. So everybody else in the country is going to suffer so the 1% can get richer.
Are they cutting all funding?
Are what?
Is it zero funding?
They're cutting $880 billion from Medicaid, and they're cutting $230 billion from
How much do we
for
spend on
Medicaid.
that?
$880 billion. They're cutting the
No,
entire
that's-
budget for Medicaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cutting the entire budget for Medicaid.
The entire budget for Medicaid?
Yes,
Well, the vast
880 billion.
There's no
Well,
fucking way, bro. I don't believe that.
what is it? 890 billion in Medicaid, and they're cutting 880. Yeah,
It's closer to $1 trillion. It's the actual budget for Medicaid from the last year of the Biden administration, but they're cutting like 890 out of that trillion. Yes.
yeah. So they're pretty much cutting the entire budget.
About 80 or 90%.
Yeah.
That's a little wild.
And fun fact, it passed the House
They're
today.
80, and, you know,
It passed the House today. So now the actual proposed budget is going to the Senate for approval. So Medicaid, SNAP benefits, like a lot of stuff.
Bill, can you give me a bill? What is it? What are you talking about right now?
The
Because that's a little
proposed,
disturbing.
have you not been paying attention? You haven't been keeping up with this?
No, that I haven't.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
This living room, this is part of what they've been talking about doing. This
All
isn't a
right, well,
surprise.
cool. Look, I'm gonna plug out of here for a second. Just I can still hear you. I just wanted to know the bill.
You can look it up, living room. You can look it up. Again, guys, we're in the FO part of the equation of FA because people didn't believe us, right? They didn't believe what was happening. You know what's funny? I watched a video from a Republican.
Can you just tell me what you're talking about? Like the bill that's being proposed?
Give me a second. I'll pull it up for you.
Please.
Yeah.
Because my parents are like 80, and I just need to know.
Oh, yeah, they in trouble.
Yeah, they might be. So I mean, I'd like to hear this information and be able to dissect it myself. I might come in there with a different, you know what I'm saying?
They're in a lot of trouble, man, because those benefits are going to really hurt not only us, you're thinking, but you also, because your grandparents, you're going to see a difference eventually because they're actually sending these letters out constantly canceling Medicaid, people's benefits. And I know because my veterans benefits been cut down. So I know that yours is going to hit and mine's hit. So you will see that effect and it will hurt you because people have been built on these benefits for years. And all of a sudden you got this guy that comes in there with his super team of hackers, which trying to differentiate himself from EL's hackers. That's why he's asking this information through the emails. Going through the emails and keep it secret because he can actually erase those emails later on saying there never been any conversation between me or that employee. Y'all don't know a lot of hidden stuff that goes on. I know what's going on and I know what they're trying to do and I know what this EL is doing.
My parents voted for him too.
Yeah, it's a big mistake.
Well, they voted against their own.
I'm trying to tell you. I know.
Well,
going through their own interview.
I want to know this proposed bill that's supposed to be going through. That's what I want to know.
Let's see here. Let me see
That's
if they
going to
have the
cut
name of it.
Medicaid by $820 million or something.
It's
I want to know what that
what's the bill number? I'm looking for the specific bill number for you. There's a couple of different places where you can find it, including
Yeah, I can't find it either.
yeah
What
the
can I Google?
if
What
you go
can I
to
Google?
if you go to the House Ways and Means .gov, they have the information listed there about the actual bill. There's a couple of different articles that talks about it and specifically what's in the bill. I'm looking for. Let me see if I can find this specific bill number.
Yeah, like what are you searching so I can try to dig into it?
Yeah, I mean it's really
What
simple. If
question
you
are
go
you
to
searching Google?
yeah, if you actually search budget bill passed in the House. There's a couple of different articles that speaks directly to it. There's a BBC article that you can refer to. There's an NPR article that you can refer to. There's also at housewaysandmeans.gov, it talks to the one big beautiful bill, which it's weird that they actually put Trump's tweet in it as far as speaking to the bill, but they talk about the multiple things that are proposed in the bill because this is a reconciliation bill, and so it talks about the multiple things that are cut and multiple things that will actually be passed as far as like the ability for the tax cut. But the big thing that you can pull out of the information of the bill is the proposed 880 billion. His House is seeking $2 trillion in spending cuts over the next 10 years to pay for Trump's agenda, including 100 billion in new spending on immigration, law enforcement, and the military. And it also talks about the 880 billion that is cut from Medicaid and the 230 billion that is cut from SNAP benefits. So I don't know if your parents are able to receive SNAP benefits, but that is being cut as well. And it was passed through the House today.
I'm gonna like when I see you next time, I'm gonna do more thorough research, but like, cause like I be in there all the time with you. I know my position, and y'all are trying to sway, but like, there's certain things when you say something, I'm like, oh, hold on, I gotta go check, and I gotta like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
'Cause,
I
like,
mean, you can go look it up, but
I know I sound like, hey, somebody loses their job. That's not what it is, man. I just want what's like better for all of us. And I
but
know like y'all don't agree with it and everything. I just want to say that I appreciate you letting me come up here.
well,
'Cause I know I've
let
been
me just ask you this quick question, Living Room Gamer, really quick, just like a super quick, simple question. Do you think taking away Medicaid benefits from your parents is a good thing?
I mean, in a short haul, no.
Well, in the long haul, how? If you're saying in the short term, no, then how is it yes in the long term? What instance would it be
I don't
good?
know. There's just so much like when I saw like all the crazy funding, like with the Sesame Street and
No,
like
no, no,
the
no, 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 no. I'm talking about your parents' Medicaid benefits specifically. Not even talking about all the other quote unquote things.
I don't know. I couldn't live without that.
But
So as you said,
what situation would you say, yes, I'm good with my parents losing their Medicaid benefits?
Like after they're gone,
Okay. All right.
so you have to see their deaths before you decide that's worth not losing their benefits. Wow. I'm
no,
speechless.
I hear you. I hear you.
I'm speechless. I'm sorry. I'm speechless.
So I'm just kind of I'm a little confused to like, what's the end game like here? Like, oh, let's say that Trump is
The
in
the
office.
end the
Who's
end
gonna
games are
run?
the tax cuts, my friend. They're not even trying to play for the end game anymore. They built the end game into this budget. They're gonna pass it so they can give $4 trillion in tax cuts, and then that's gonna raise taxes on everyday people while giving the ultra wealthy a very large tax cut. The proposed tax cuts is going to increase for anyone that makes less than 28,600 a year. They're going to be paying 4.8% more, and even up to if you make less than $360,000 a year, you're going to be paying more in taxes. But if you make over $360,000 a year, you're going to be paying
Okay, so
less in
look,
taxes.
I made 98 last year. What does that fall in for
98,
me?
you're going to be paying 1.4% more in taxes.
What the fuck?
Your taxes are going up because of this bill that they're passing. Your parents are going to lose their Medicaid, and you're going to be paying more in taxes. And that's what I've been, Living Room, you've been hanging out here with me for months, and that's what I've been saying. I've been
Yeah,
saying
but
all of this.
I
And
hear
don't
you.
forget,
But
and don't forget that
like I
$400.
said, like you have to go through the night to see the sunrise. I don't want to be dependent on other countries. I don't want to be funding other countries. I want us to take care of us.
But we're not taking care of us, though. That's the problem.
You
If
have
you
to
were
go
saying
through the night to see the
no,
sunrise.
but Living Room, if they were saying we're gonna actually cut all these other fundings, we're gonna cut US aid, we're gonna cut all Ukraine funding, and this bill that we're passing, we're gonna actually put money in for veterans, we're gonna put money in for Medicaid, we're gonna do all this, then yeah, that I would agree with you. But they're cutting all of these spendings, and then they're also cutting VA benefits.
You said 800, like out of a billion?
880 billion with a B.
Out of like
Out of
a
a trillion. Yes. And also, so you understand, budgets don't work the way you think they work, right? The government has an overall budget, but then that budget is split between departments. Once each department or agency has its budget, that money can't be spent anywhere else, right?
So
So if
what do
the
y'all think
military gets
happens
a
there with Trump?
$850 billion budget, I don't care
That's
what
crazy.
else happens, that money has to be spent on the military. So a lot of this stuff, when y'all talking about you don't want stuff to go overseas and everything else or whatever, that comes out of the military budget, which has nothing to do with our Social Security budget or our Medicare budget or anything else. It
And
doesn't work
they
that way.
also increased the military budget by $100 billion. They added another $100 billion to the military budget.
Military budget too, bro.
No,
You gotta cut that.
they just added $100 billion to it. They added this bill adds $100 billion to the military while cutting social safety nets.
And again, that goes back to
What
how
does
we
that
started
mean,
this whole
social
thing talking
safety
about
net?
Doge. If Doge was really looking at saving money, they would have looked at the military first, because that's where the most problems are with the budget. Instead, they're looking at our benefits and are going to help hurt the elderly people in this country and the veterans in this country. Because all they want to do is make up what they're going to lose when they pass this bill for the rich. That's the part you're missing.
Like tomorrow, I'm on a 16-hour shift. I'm gonna be looking up the.
Please do,
that
please do,
proposed
please do.
bill.
Yeah, look, verify that information.
I've been
Go check it
I've
out.
been nicer when I come in here. I've been nicer when I come in here. Don't
Yeah.
like coming here firing off.
You understand where you are depending on like debating in the panel.
Sitting on the Elden Ring the other day, the Elden Ring Night Ring.
Yeah.
And I thought me and you might have something in common. So I've
You,
been a little,
you know what? I realized that was
I've
the
been a little
inflection point
docile.
for you. I noticed that because you were hanging out watching me play, and then ever since then,
I've been a little docile because I think that we might have more in common than you think. But we'll come to some kind of middle ground. I'm hoping somewhere.
Listen, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go. You try to get a couple hours of sleep, but please look up this information and please make a plan for your parents, because like this is gonna it's gonna hit a lot of people hard.
No, I'm definitely gonna look it up just for my parents.
And don't let them die. Don't let them die before you realize.
On the live, the expression I've had to call you out on that like twice tonight. On the live.
No, my parents they're like on their last breath. So I mean, I don't know if they're gonna feel this effect like somebody like probably me. Like my son's 24, I got a grandkid on the way. Like so, it might affect me more than them.
All
But
right.
Thank you, Santana. Thank you all. Thank you all for the panel for tolerating me. 'Cause I'm sometimes obnoxious but appreciate y'all.
All right. Have a good evening. Let me read these off real quick, guys. W's in the chat for Justin, who sent a $5 donation saying, I am so disappointed and discouraged with the state of our nation. However, I appreciate your efforts to uplift and educate people. Justin, thank you so much for being you, Justin. Just being you. Like, you're absolutely awesome. Like, I mean that when I said, I know you donate, and I appreciate all of your donations, but more than that, I appreciate you being here like night after night and listening to my tomfoolery and actually engaging. So thank you for the donation, but thank you for being you, Justin. And also, W's in the chat for Michelle, who sent a $10 donation saying, thank you for speaking the truth. Michelle, thank you for that $10 donation. You are amazing. Thank you for being a part of our community. I'll just say this, and then I'll pass this around the panel just so we can have some closing remarks, because we did hit the end of the live. But I'll save my comments for the end. D Expression, what do you have? D Expression.
I'm here. Sorry about that.
No worries. What's your closing comments?
I want to apologize to you, man. I'm so sorry.
No,
Sometimes I need a
you're
little
good.
spanking myself.
You're
Gotta get
good.
me on the head.
Listen, sometimes we talk normal, and I have to remind you about remind people about the TikTok friendly language. Yeah, but you're good.
Yeah, he hit me hard when I hear people say certain things. And it's sad because I've seen a lot in my times traveling country to country. And, I don't like to hear someone talk like that. It hurts my feelings. I want the best for everybody in this world. And I know this situation we got going on is tragedy. And I know living room gamer, hey, it's all about conversation. And I actually like that guy. I like him a lot because, he was good about expressing his thoughts, and I love that. The way he conversated and put his thoughts out there, it was a pleasure. And I know we're going through death and pray, but we just have to keep fighting. We just have to keep our heads up high and keep doing the best we can, and wherever we can do it. But I'm never going to give up. I want America to never give up, because the country, we need every person with bravery to accomplish this goal, because we can't do it without unity.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you, my friend.
No problem. No problem.
Sam, what do you have?
Hey, I just wanted to say, Santana, thank you for hosting this live. Your lives are always great, and I love that you force people to be respectful. Sometimes I don't have that in me, with especially dealing with Trump supporters. So
Sam, you know what I would like from you? This is a special request from me to you. Can you come back, whether it's tomorrow or next week or whatever, but join the panel again and join a little bit earlier, because I would love for you to actually be able to actually, share more. I see you in the chat all the time. I know you're a subscriber. Like, you're awesome. I would love for you to actually be able to participate more than what you got to do tonight. So if you have time, either tomorrow or next week or whatever, when we have late nights, can you please come back and join us?
I will. This is the first time I've ever joined a live,
Hey,
so I'm really nervous.
W's in the chat for Sam.
So thank you for that. What I was saying is I have to watch my P's and Q's, because
Absolutely.
Trump voters make me crazy sometimes. So I find that your platform forces me to do that. So I actually really love it here. And I am hopeful, because, living room, even though he didn't get it until it started affecting him directly.
Yeah.
It seemed like he did, maybe, I don't know if he turned a corner, but maybe he's going to look into what he did, how he voted a little bit more. But I just want to say thank you for having this platform. I think it's really great that you get people up here, and I love it that you check people on common sense and on their sources. That's major. So thanks for what you do.
No, thank you, Sam. Again, thank you for being a part of our community. You're awesome, and whenever you want to come back, feel free.
Thanks.
Thank you. Odell.
Yes, sir.
What would you like to add as closing comments?
Yeah, I'd like to see how we're in a free fall right now, and this MAGA's got to wake up. It's about coffee. I mean, Trump has set himself up to be a king, and everybody seems like, oh no, it's not going to happen, but yes, it is going to happen. So we got to open our eyes.
Again, like I said to you earlier, I mean, like I worry about people like yourself, right? People who have put in their time and have earned the right to enjoy the rest of their lives, and now they're faced with uncertainty, and not only faced with uncertainty, but possibly faced with the reality of rejoining the job force or whatever the case may be. And like you don't deserve that. Older people don't deserve that. People who rely on those benefits, and just no one deserves that, and I worry about people like yourself. So thank you for coming up. Thank you for sharing your story, and hopefully you can hang out with us more, because I really enjoyed you being here.
Thanks, Santana. I really appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. You have a good one as well.
Yeah.
Sapphire. I'm just going to call you Fire. Because listen, you came up here and you spit hot fire the entire time.
Well, I just want to thank you. This is my first time ever, joining the live.
Hey, W's in the chat for Sapphire then.
Yes. So I personally, I just have a hope, a glimmer of hope. I know this thing is going to turn around. I think we're going to feel the bite before we, feel some relief.
All right.
Because this is so, how can I put it? It's like unreal.
Yeah.
That we're in. It's almost like we're in Twilight Zone. I'm like, I'm gonna pinch myself. And I've been in this game for 45 years on the ground working.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a union boss. I've seen this activity before.
I know that's right.
So I know that if we come together and we stick and we stand strong, we will get this done. All we have to do is continue to boycott these things that are not fair to us, and and just continue to fight. I think we got this. I think we're going to come out of it.
Let me ask you this question, because you said something that hit my ear. And guys, I'm sorry, chat, just stick with me for half a second. do you think there's anything to like the fact that the Trump administration is trying to do so much at one time? Because you said that we need to stick together. You've seen this before. Basically, we have to weather the storm and stick to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're trying to throw so much at one time that not only can it makes it hard for us to stick together, but people feel like overwhelmed by everything that's happening?
Yes, that's their goal. Their goal is to create smoke screens. People need to go back and watch Wizard of Oz. If you watch the movie, you'll see the man behind the curtains pulling the strings. So we have to pay attention. We have to look beyond all of this smoke screen and realize we're missing something. We're missing something. Something else is going on behind the scenes. But if we stick together and we boycott a lot of this stuff, we're going to come out on top. I believe that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging
And
out
thanks
with us,
again.
Sapphire. Absolutely.
All right.
Have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Oh, sorry. Good night. Hawk, are you still there?
I'm gonna jump on something that she said because when she said it, it clicked, and you might want to talk about this the rest of the week. You know, there's a lot of boycott. I was actually looking for pictures because I took a couple of pictures of some of them today. But there's a bunch of boycotts and stuff coming up, like the big one on the 28th of this month. But there's several over the next couple of months or whatever. You might want to mention those to folks over the next couple of days or whatever, because they might not have heard of them. And just, you know, as much as they can, they need to participate, right? Big box stores, major companies
We're not
or whatever.
spending any money on the 28th or something, right?
Right, the 28th is the first one, right? That's a
Okay.
big one because it's everything, right? So get everything done before the 28th, or hold off until after the 28th if you can or whatever. If you absolutely have to go spend money or whatever, try to do it with local businesses and small mom and pop businesses or whatever. Cut out all of these billionaires. Don't give them no money on these dates. But there's like 6 or 7 of these over the next couple of months. And I think we should bring that up over the next few days or whatever and let everybody know. So those that can do that will do that, and we can put a hurting on these guys' pockets.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Hawk, the reason why I save this for last and save you for last, you know, the thing that bothers me, and like it really bothers me, and listening to Living Room kind of speak about it, like it genuinely bothers me how certain people don't get it. Like no matter, like you, Hawk, you know how many times I've talked to him, like, but it didn't mean anything to him until he heard that it was going to be something that affected his family.
Right.
Like nothing that we've said this entire Hawk, we've been talking to him for months, and nothing that we've said has mattered until tonight when he realized that it's going to affect him and his family, and that's so disheartening.
Look, I was in a live earlier today where the general conversation was like, we need to show them grace and help them deconstruct to try to get them back to our side. And I'm like, I'm done with them for the most part, right? If they come back, they're going to have to earn it. I don't trust them. I don't believe anything that comes out of their mouth. That's a biggie for me. But there was somebody on that panel from the other side that was 100 times worse than Living Room, because he actually believed that bullshit. I think Living Room is just uneducated, and he's just bought into the bullshit that they've been selling him for the last 4, 5, 6 years or whatever, and he truly doesn't know any better. But that's why when we started getting into the nitty gritty of it, and he realized it will affect his parents, all of a sudden his demeanor completely changed.
It immediately, like, I heard the panic in his voice. I heard like the genuine, like, can you just tell me where I can find this information? Like, there was genuine panic in his voice, and his temperament changed, his tone changed. He went from like, well, the actions justify the ends, to like, are you sure about this? Like, this, why would they do that? And I don't know, Hawk.
They don't give a shit. Yeah.
It just
Look,
bothers
and
me so much, though.
The part about it that gets to me is he at least saw a glimmer of what we were saying when he realized it would affect his parents, and they're in their 80s. What he's missing is that's going to affect him too. Because if his parents are in their 80s, that means he's in his 50s or 60s. It's right around the corner for him. Right? It's going to affect him as well, and he ain't figured that out yet. That's the sad part.
I don't understand how you. I just don't understand how you don't care about people until it touches you.
Everybody does not have the empathy gene, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's true. Some of us have too much, and a whole bunch of people ain't got none at all.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Hawk, thank you for coming up. I tried to get you in here early. I don't know if you saw my message, but we had like 4 or 5 MAGAs on the panel, and I was like, I needed somebody to help balance it out.
No, I wasn't paying attention to Discord this evening, so I missed that. I apologize.
Yeah,
for
they were deep early, Hawk. They were deep. They were deep, and they were staying on mute and actually going back and forth. So, yeah.
But whenever they came off mute, they came out with BS. Right?
Oh, you know it. Every single word. every single word.
Yeah, I tried to school the knucklehead that was in the one live I was in earlier. I'm like, dude, I gave him one of the lessons I used to give my students. You're hearing what we're saying, but you're not listening, right? I used to give a lesson on listening versus hearing to my students because he was one of those people that he wasn't listening to understand, he was listening to respond, right?
Yeah.
So that means while you're talking, he's not really listening to you. He can hear the sound of your voice, but in his mind, he's coming up with what answer he's going to give to counter what you're saying. He's not listening to anything that's actually going on. And there's a lot of them like that or whatever, because all they want to do is prove their point. They want to own the libs. They made this a sports event, and they have to win at all costs. And what they're missing is that when we lose, like we did in November, it wasn't our side that lost. We all lost. The entire country is gonna get, and most of them are gonna be more screwed than us. Because I don't know about you, I do know about you, but I'm pretty comfortable, right? I'm not gonna like any of this stuff, but it's not gonna devastate me at all.
Yeah.
But all of these Trump supporters that live in all of these red states that are the poor states in the country that already don't give benefits to their people or whatever, that's going to get even worse when this stuff goes through.
That's again, Hawk. That's the point that I like. I'm not worried about me. I'm not worried about me. I'm not worried about my wife. Like, I'm not worried about like us. I'm worried about. I'm definitely worried about other parts of my family. I'm worried about people that I grew up with. I'm worried about people that I've interacted with in my own life. But I'm worried about people I don't know. I'm worried about people that already live paycheck to paycheck, or
right, that don't have it as good as we do. Absolutely.
Like, Hawk, I just like, jeez, I don't know, man. I gotta. This is okay. All right, I'm gonna end it here, Hawk. This is
all right, my friend.
Man. I appreciate you coming up.
No problem. Anytime.
Guys, W's in the chat for my mom. It looks like my mom was watching over on YouTube tonight instead of being over here on TikTok. Hey, lady, why aren't you in bed? It's past your bedtime. Everybody, put some go to bed mom in the chat. Put some go to bed mom in the chat. I don't know why she's still up. You know it's past. Matter of fact, it's your curfew. Don't make me come in there and you better not have a TV on. That's what she used to tell me when I was younger. As a matter of fact, just FYI, we're not even in the same state. But I'll come in there and turn the TV off, like Kendrick Lamar said. Cut the TV off. Guys, it was a heck of a night. It was a heck of a night. It was a heck of a night. It was absolutely a heck of a night, and I'm just I don't know. I hope that we are able to I hope we're able to stick together and be able to protect each other and really be beneficial to each other. I use this hashtag all the time on Blue Sky. If you're not following me on all the other social medias, do so. Blue Sky, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch. I posted a video that got taken down on TikTok. And I posted it on all of my other social medias, and so they're on all of my other social medias. So there's a video, it's a 1-minute video. I thought it was funny. Well, there's 2 videos that I had to take down off of TikTok. So if you're not following me on Blue Sky, YouTube, Instagram, or Twitch, go follow me on all of those other social media sites and check out those 2 videos because, yeah, I think they're very much needed, but the TikTok is very, It's something. It's something. Anyway, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll try this again tomorrow. We have another late nights with Santana tomorrow. Oh, subscribers! If you're a subscriber, get in the Discord. If you are a subscriber, get in the Discord. If you need to know how to get into the Discords, if you actually just click the benefits in your link, then it will allow you to actually get into the Discord. If you're a subscriber, please get into the Discord. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. You get access to a fast pass to join the panel for the conversations here at late night. You get access to a bunch of really cool emotes. You get access to did I say the Discord? The Discord, you got a lot of really cool things in the Discord, but the biggest thing in the Discord is our mutual aid channel. And so for anyone who doesn't know, last week was mutual aid week. It was our first official week of mutual aid week. We will be doing mutual aid week every third week of the month. Every third week of the month, we will do mutual aid week, where we will pull someone who needs help. And if you are in the Discord, you can post in the mutual aid channel. We're going to help someone that's either in or outside of our community. Last week, we raised $3,000. In 1 week for mutual aid week, we raised $3,000. W's in the chat for all of you. W's in the chat for all of you. In 1 week, we raised $3,000 for mutual aid week. Hey, W's in the chat for Anita. Thank you so much for becoming a subscriber. We actually... we have a community member who was a victim of a hate crime, and they're a trans member of our community, and they were trying to escape from Florida. And the efforts that all of you guys put in collectively allowed us to help them get out of Florida and get to safety, them and their partner. So that was such a big thing. You guys were so amazing. I'm so proud of you. But we're going to be doing this every third week of the month. Every third week of the month, we're going to do this mutual aid week. And also, like I said, if you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. But I also understand that not everyone can afford to become a subscriber. So if you are someone that is in need and you cannot afford a subscription, that does not mean that you will be excluded from mutual aid. There is a link in the link tree in my bio that takes you to the mutual aid email. The mutual aid email. You can send all of the information. Please be as detailed as possible. When you send the email through the mutual aid email. Please don't DM me. Don't DM me. Send it through the mutual aid email. You will be vetted, and then I had to look it up, Hawk. I did, but you will be vetted, and then you will be put into consideration to be added for that mutual aid week. Again, every third week of the month, we will do mutual aid week. So we want to make sure that we take care of each other. It's going to be super important that we take care of each other, because not everyone has the ability to take care of each other. And so we're going to stick together. Hey, thank you for sending out the subs. You guys are freaking awesome. Also, W's in the chat for Justin, who sent a $5 donation saying W mom. Yeah, my mom's awesome. W mom. Anyway, guys, I know I just rambled for a little while, but thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you all. I love you all. Seriously. I genuinely love everyone that's here. You guys are amazing. You make me happy. You make it easier for me to get on here and do this every night and talk to these people and bang my head against the wall, and I hear my wife in the background screaming, "Come on, bro." She wants me to wrap it up. She's like, "Wrap it up, B." Anyway, I love you guys. We're going to go raid Chris. Let's go raid, or Chris isn't even live anymore. Darn it. Let's go raid Brett Cross. Brett Cross is live. Let's go raid Brett Cross. Lady, thank you for sending out a sub. It looks like Brett Cross is still alive. Let's go raid my token white friend Brett Cross. He is live. So we're gonna go raid Brett Cross because Chris is off. So Brett Cross, let me pin this. Oh, it's already pinned. We're gonna go raid Brett Cross, guys. Santana raid. Let's go raid Brett Cross. I love you all. And as always,
Peace.
That's how the whole thing started. He was a people member. Hector's best friend. Yeah, him and Hector was loving together.
I'll have y'all know, tonight, I got my own hot box.
You got your own?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no, I had to pop out on that one.
Hotbox is no longer with us. He ended up saying some racist things and misogynistic things. So,
Yeah, we had to unalive him the last time he was here.
yo, big W's for the Santana raid. Big fucking W's, guys.
But